is Jasmine Cain, and these are crazy tour stories. Mine is a breakdown story because that's primarily what I was dealing with for most of my time out. So in South Dakota, it snows a lot. And in January, one year in South Dakota, we were going down I-90, and it was like a total snowstorm, and one of our tires on the trailer blew out, and we couldn't.
I went through that.
We had to pull over on the side of the road, and I had two guys touring with me at the time, and both of them were from Every Mother's Nightmare. We had Jeff Carin and Jim Phipps from Every Mother's Nightmare with me.
Jim.
And so they were both in the car. They're both like, you know, Southern boys. The snow thing is not okay. So they were freaked out by it, and they did not want to be outside. They're going to stay in the van where it's nice and warm. So we needed a tire, and it's of course 5:01 on a Sunday, so we can't get anything. And I saw a billboard for an advertisement for an RV shop like a mile down the road. So I decided that I was going to make a run for it. So I got out and put on my coat and took off running. And I had to dive through like chest-high snow, like through the ditches. And I was bouncing through the snow, get to the other side, get on the other side of the fence, and I jog a mile down the road to this RV shop. And when I got there, it says closed at 6 o'clock, and it was after 6 when I got there. So I thought we were screwed. So I went over and I pulled on the door, and it opened. And I was like, awesome, they hadn't locked up yet. So I went in, and I'm calling for somebody's name, and nobody comes out. Like, there's nobody in there, and I'm yelling, I was like, anybody here? You know, nobody's in there. So then I started to freak out, thinking maybe I just walked into like some kind of like murder, and like these people are probably dead like somewhere, and the killer's still on the loose, like waiting for people to come in the door like me. So then I freaked myself out for a while, and then eventually this guy walked out and was like, "How did you get in here?" So the door was open. So he sold me a tire. I was like, "I need a tire." He's like, I got one here." I said, and our jack was broken, as you can see.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, well, I can sell you this ramp thing, you know, like that you drive up onto, and it elevates the rear tire, and then that way you can put the tire on. So great, sounds great. I pay the guy for it, and he hands me my tire and this ramp and says, okay, good luck. So I had to run a mile back to where the van was with the tire and this other thing.
Meanwhile, two strong, healthy men in the van scared of snow.
I told you she has the biggest balls in the van.
It was cold.
That's what I said.
So I get over there, and I get to the road, and I take the tire, because I can't jump through the snow with all the tires, so I took the tire and threw it as far as I could, and it landed in the snow pile somewhere halfway across the ditch. And then I heard Jim Phipps pipe up and go, "Man, she's got a tire." That's like the only thing he said.
Man.
Oh, man.
I know how he talks.
Yeah.
Man.
She got a tire. So then we brought it over there. The ramp didn't work. It actually broke. We tried to disconnect the trailer at that time, and all the ball bearings fell out of the jack of the trailer. So the only way I could get the truck out from under the trailer was to have Jeff and Jim on both sides of the truck jumping at the same time to try to get me underneath, and I would gas it right at the right time and get out from underneath of it. And we went and got a jack, got the trailer fixed, got everything put back on, made it to Sioux Falls, got something to eat, took off driving, and a semi-truck ran us off the road, and we completely crashed in the ditch and jackknifed, and spent the entire evening somewhere between Sioux Falls and
St. Paul
and Sioux City, Iowa, in a hotel room playing quarters. We paid some guy like $20 to go get us beer. That was it. Wow. That was my story.
Wow. You know, one of the best ones was with Naked Beggars. You know,
Jeff's stories are too hot for TV.
I think we're cruising. I think we're in actually Wisconsin. We're cruising down the wintertime, blizzard, and Eric Brittingham, my bass player, is driving, and he decides to just drive all over there. You know, like, wait, the highway is here, dude. You know, we drove off the highway, went down a ditch, through a fence. This is the same thing, like van and trailer.
Yeah.
You know, through a ditch, like came to a stop. Like everybody's in the van, like ah! Like screaming. we go into like sideways into the woods. So we gotta do something about this. So call 911. Inga's like, what's the number?
She said that?
Yeah, she totally said that.
Wow.
It's 911. So,
Oh my
you know,
God.
but we have a lot of crashing stories, man. It was so funny because the tow truck that came to get us out also got stuck.
Yeah, that was right.
So they had to send another one out, man. We lost with Cinderella. We lost a couple trailers on the highway.
You lost them?
One time, yeah, the hitch broke twice. One time the hitch broke, and the trailer started passing us. I was like, Jimmy, I'm looking at the window. I'm like, Jimmy, why is the trailer next to us now? You know, stuff like that, man. But you know, that's. Although back in the '80s, I had a penchant for fireworks and stealing cars. So, because I was young, I was a young punk. I got signed when I was like 22, and we were doing like world tours at 23, 24. You know, I thought I could do whatever I wanted, and I did. You know, so
You stole
like
cars.
I stole cars.
Really?
So, I totally stole
Can you
cars.
hotwire a car?
No.
Oh,
What would
too
happen?
bad, 'cause if
what
we
would
lose the
happen
keys, we
was,
might need
you
you.
know, well, first of all, we bought a ton of fireworks.
Yeah.
Because I had never been down south before, and they just sold like fireworks
Isn't that
everywhere. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could buy fireworks on like the street corner or whatever. It's like, no, you're allowed to buy them, but you're not allowed to use them. I was like, I don't understand that. So I used to set fireworks off in the arena parking lots, you know, outside after our shows.
First band I ever went out on the road with in Denver, Colorado, the bass player and guitar player got in a fight. Bass player took one of my cymbal stands. This is for real. This is crazy. Hit the guy in the head. Seriously injured the guitar player. Went to the hospital. Bass player went to jail. Cops came. Assault with a deadly weapon, which was my cymbal stand.
Did they confiscate it for like evidence?
No, I had the cymbal stand for like a long time. It was
Oh, wow.
actually bent where it hit the guy in the head. So I called my parents. I'm like 20, 21 years old, stranded in Denver, Colorado. They had to fly me home. Needless to say, they weren't very enthusiastic about my musical career after that. So
That happened to me too.
that was the first. And literally, we had only done a couple shows. It was a variety cover band I was out with, and
Got into stealing cars while I was on tour. Like, in the process of all this fireworks. So people would like come up and drive up in their nice cars, like, you know, but it was only Corvettes. Anytime somebody came up
Good
in a
choice.
Corvette and they'd open the door and say, hey, will you sign my girlfriend's boob or something, you know? I'd be like, yeah, sure. And
then you'd steal their
I
car.
would just jump because they'd leave it running. That was their problem.
Oh.
They left it running, and I'd jump in the car.
problem.
I'd jump in the car. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm leaving. Bye. And I just fucking drive their car away.
And you never
Oh my
got
God.
arrested
I
for
saw,
that?
I saw so many people freak out about that. It was so funny. Well, it was funny to me.
I saw people freaking out about the fact that I stole their
No,
car.
one time I got in, and
For some
the
reason, they were very
girlfriend was.
upset.
One time I got in, and the
couldn't believe
girlfriend
they
was still
freaked
sitting
out.
in the
You stole
passenger
his car
seat.
and his girlfriend?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's just too much.
His Corvette and his lady.
Yes, and he's standing there
Wow.
like, I could see him in the rear view, like, what? One time, I just took it around the block and, you know, messed around. You know,
With his
but One
girlfriend.
time,
Just borrowed it.
one time
He
I took it
borrowed
to the store to grab some beer.
No.
On the way back, a cop, like, pulled up behind me right in the hotel.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get out. Hey, how you doing? Right into the hotel, into my room. What? Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Oh dear.
Straight up, wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't believe you haven't been arrested.
I've been arrested quite a few times.
Well,
Sure, you were very convincing.
We were stuck in Secaucus, New Jersey for a couple of days.
I hate when that happens.
Had some accidental, Jersey.
Secaucus?
Had some accidental time off due to somebody's performance, but so me and the drummer were down the hotel bar, and we get just absolutely annihilated. So he goes up before this. I'm not going to tell what I did to him before that, but so I'm just going to leave that out. But he goes up before me, so I go up about an hour and a half later. I close the bar down, and I can't find my key. So I go up, and at that time I had to pee. So I couldn't, and all 4 of our rooms are in a row, all the band guys and the crew. I'm beating on everybody's door because he won't answer the door. Nobody opens the door. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I pee in the corner of the hallway.
Oh my God.
I just stop. I'm like,
I've
I can't
done
make,
that.
I'm on like the 8th floor of the hotel. I'm like, fuck it. I gotta go. So I piss, and I'm like, okay, shit, now I can't get in my room. Beating on the door. I'm like,
You
man,
can go to the front desk.
I know. But I had to pee first. So I
Right.
pissed. Then I beat on the door some more. So I go back down. I get a key to the room. I come back up. I open the hotel door, and the bathroom light's on. The fan's running, and there's a towel in the middle of the floor in the hall. When I come in, and our drummer is in the bathroom, and somehow he had passed out and fell down naked. His towel, because I guess he was going to get a shower. That's why the towel, naked or something. But he had slid, and somehow he was stuck between the wall and the back of the fucking toilet. He was wedged in between there.
God.
I had to pull him out between, because he couldn't get out from between the wall and the toilet.
How do you do that?
Oh my God.
It takes a lot of effort. You use your back in a jerking, twisting motion.